Good Wednesday morning, October 27th, 2021. Came out this morning. I'm going to start the uprights, the studs, the wall studs. And what I've decided to do is this. And by the way, thank you for watching Danny Designs. I really appreciate it. I'm going to show you my plan, my design. This is the baseboard, the bottom part of the wall. I'm going to put a stud here going up and then another one right next to it to create my corner, because the wall boards will come over here, and then I'm going to need another one coming out here to make that nice corner. So I've got to put a 2x4 here. It's going to go up this wall. And my original thought was just notch out this part and let it slide in there. Just to fit in there. Same thing up there. There's two of them. There and there. And I thought, well, let's just slide in there. And, then I'll put this board here, together, screw it together. And then I thought, well, what's holding it to that? What am I going to do there? Drill new holes, which I don't need to. So then I thought, well, I'm just going to take these bolts out. When I slide the wall up, I'll drill the hole in, put the bolts back in. Well, problem is, they're too short to do that. I need them to come out at least another inch, at least. So that I can drill the hole through the board here, put the nut on there, and secure that upright up there and here to this angle iron and to this leg, which will give me that shear support that way. And then obviously when you put the siding on and the inside walls and the inside supports and the seal plate and all that stuff, it'll lock it all in there. And I'll do the same thing on that side. Well, of course, I don't have the bolts. So, I guess the good thing is I've got everything set up. Not supposed to rain anymore. It was bad last night. Actually went to the storm shelter up at my parents' house because I don't have one here. I mean, I could get down in that hole there and be fine, but it'd be wet. So anyway, I'm going to go to the Lowe's or Home Depot. Boy, sometimes. And get some longer bolts and nuts. I think I have enough washers and stuff like that, but I may go ahead and get a whole set. So I got to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got to get 8. And I think that'll just make it even more secure. Now, over time, if the board shrinks a little bit, which it will a little bit, then that will no longer be as tight, but this would no longer be as tight as when I first do it right now. And that's my concern. Well, does that loosen that up? Well, it might a little bit, but all houses do that. Even that mobile home right there. Once it's put together and everything, eventually it kind of loosens up a little bit. I guess that allows it to breathe and move a little bit. So, all my wall here will still be connected to the uprights. They're going to be connected. Not a big deal there. It's just that whole area there just might loosen up a little bit. But that's going to be fine because it's still going to have a solid wall there, and it's all going to be locked in, with my corner pieces and all that stuff. So it's all going to lock together, just like any other house. When you're doing the sticks and bricks, it's going to move a little bit, and that's just the way it is. It'll just be on this wall and that wall down there, because the rest of it's all solid. That's not going to shrink or do anything. I'm not going to do the same thing on the inside of these because I don't need that extra support because it's already got it. So when I put the walls in here, I'll just notch out like I did on the bottom over there notch it out so the 2x4 sits flat on the bottom, and then wherever my 16-inch center comes along, you know, then that's what I'll do with that. So, okay, going to the store. It's okay because it's still kind of muddy and wet out here, so it'll give it a little chance to kind of dry up. So, and then I'll get back here after lunch and do some work. Okay. Good morning. Got out here. Wind's blowing like crazy, so you're gonna have a tough time hearing me. So I'll try to show some things when I'm away from the camera, so not talk, and then I'll tell you what I'm doing. So right now I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. Cutting the first board that's gonna go right here. It's gonna go right here. It's gonna go up. So I'm gonna cut it. Then I'm going to pull these bolts out, clamp that board in there, and drill the hole first. So the hole will be there. So when I lift this wall up, I'll be able to put that longer bolt in there that I bought yesterday and get it in place, because the wind's blowing. I mean, you know, it'll mess with me a little bit, but if I pre-drill these holes, it's just gonna make it so much easier once I set this thing back up. This will be my first thing to bolt in place, so this section of the wall right here will be tight until I put the other wall up, put the seal plate on, and then brace it, you know, with some cross members and stuff like that. So that's my goal right now. Cut this board to 8 feet, set it in here, because that's a straight one. That's pretty dang straight. Set it in here, clamp it in place, drill the holes, and then I'll take it down, and then I'll be able to start the next step. Okay. All right. I put the board up there. I took those bolts out, clamped that board up there, and then drilled a hole. This already had the hole through it, through this angle iron. So now I just got drilled a hole through most of the board. That's as long as it would go in. So now I will take the drill out, attack from this side, make sure the bolt goes in nice and easy. Then I'll show you what I'm going to do after that. So I'm going to go ahead and get both of these lined up the way they're supposed to be with the angle iron and the leg. So I'm going to drill the hole through both sides, and I'll show you the next step. Okay, what I've done, I marked the 16-inch centers, laid that board on its edge so that when I lift it up, it should just slide back into place. Woo! That wind's just getting it. I got the one blocked open, but I didn't block that one open. That's what that was. And what I did on this first board is I actually pre-drilled the holes and put these screws in. I don't like, well, anyway. Just because I didn't want, there's a little bit of, not as much to nail to right there. And I didn't want it to split, break off, and then I have nothing after redo the baseboard. So screwed that in. Now, since this is hard oak, and my nail gun is not the best in the whole world. So what I'm doing on 16-inch center, I'm pre-drilling this board with the holes, so that when I lay that other board down, my nail won't have to work so hard to get through this. It'll just go into the other board over here. That's all it'll have to force itself into. Because this is really dense, thick, hard blackjack wood, which we've talked about before. So that's what I'm doing right now. That grasshopper's hanging out, taking a ride. But, and I pre-drilled the spacer there, which when I lift this up, you'll see what that's for. Okay, I'm going to keep drilling these holes right here, and then I'll cut. This board is really close to 2 feet, 2 inches, 2 inches thick. So I'll be able to go ahead and cut my 8 feet wall studs and start putting those together, putting them on here. And then I'll get my top seal plate, I think it's called a seal plate, measured over, and I'll cut it to the exact length of this one, because one of my wall studs goes perfectly on the edge here, and then the other 3 will be. All right, started nailing this end on the 16-inch centers and the window goes. I have to pre-drill these holes. I've come to that conclusion. So not a big deal, just takes a little time. Like right now was able to do 2 because of this. Now I'm gonna go ahead and drill me another one right here. And then I'll show you how I'm lining up the nail gun with the hole to go ahead and puncture the hole through there, or the nail through. Okay, I'm gonna drill this hole right real quick, and then I'll snap back to just me putting the nail in. Okay, I was lining the camera up. There's my new air gun, nailer. So there's the holes. So what I have to do is get my air gun, and I have to, when there's the shadow and stuff, I have to line it up like that, push the hole, and pull the trigger, and it goes through that hole there, and then brand new on that board. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. And I'm going to put my camera down. I think that should be lined up pretty good. What I have to do is make sure to get my gloves on, because I have to hold that board up. Not the safest thing to do, but it works just fine, because I have to hold this board up so that it's on my 16-inch center, pull the trigger, and it goes straight through. There we go. Pretty good. See, if I don't hit it exactly, that nailer won't drive it all the way through. So there's one right there. I need to put the hammer to, and then there's one right there. So if I miss the hole by a little bit, it's just temperamental. So, okay, I am getting ready to go in for lunch, take a little break. Then I'll put that top plate on. I'll measure the 16-inch center, and then I'm prepared to lift that thing up, and probably going to use the backhoe. We'll see. That's probably what I'm going to do, though. Well, I'll tell you what, sometimes when you line things up, it's like, look, I just wanted to pull that hose, my thing over there, so it'd be safe, and my hose gets all trapped up. This is just my problem, and I know the rule, keep your sight clean, you know, but look at all this, and I step over and around it. I know the rule, I just don't always do it. Okay, break time, because also I know the rule, when you start getting tired, that's when some accidents happen. I was showing you my chin right there, I think. So anyway, hopefully you can hear this, but I'm getting ready to slide this down, take a break first, then come back out. Okay, thanks. I've got the wall built, or at least, you know, the uprights and studs, wall studs. Got my backhoe in here. That thing's just too heavy to lift by myself. And again, because it is not cured blackjack oak. So anyway, got some braces there. I'm gonna try to lift that thing up slowly. See if I can get that thing just kind of slide in place like it's supposed to. So I'm gonna film this. It may take a little while. Back and forth stuff. Hopefully the camera doesn't flop over. I will set a couple things on the legs here just to see if I can prevent it from falling over. All right, let's get on the tractor and see what I can do. So far, looks like it's doing okay. I'm going to readjust the camera and I'm going to stop it so this section doesn't go too long. But you know those things that you forget about doing? Oh yeah, just move your freaking air hose, right? And then when you try to do things with one hand with the camera, things hook on. That's all right. All is well. Okay. So far, so good. Well, looks like it's doing okay. Those boards are doing their job. This is sliding down inside of the angle iron that I made that support out of. Now I got to take that bolt out right there because I put it in there just to, and that slid right where it's supposed to slide. I may have to sledgehammer it that way a little bit, but as of right now it's looking okay. All right, here we go. Take this bolt out. That was the short bolts. I'm gonna get this long ones ready to go. Pull it in a little bit gonna try to use it by hand, push it over, clamp it in place. It's not lining up yet. Woohoo! Got one. All right. I was able to get this bolt through to hold it. Problem is, I didn't give myself enough room up there to get the bucket out of the way. So I'm gonna have to finagle that, get the straps off, lift the bucket, move the bucket out of the way. I'm gonna move this out of the way. I've got this bolt right here through the angle iron. That one I just gotta bang through, use a little bit of force. So I'm gonna move that bucket, get some pressure off that first, then I might be able to finagle that. I'm gonna do that off camera. Okay. Okay, there's a wall standing. These are the more difficult ones, these on the ends, because I'm having to specialize the lengths, the cuts around the bolts. But I'm doing all this just to make it stronger, like putting these bolts right here through the leg, through the angle iron, through the wood. So now, because this angle iron here is going through or held down with these toggle bolts here, held down into the concrete 2 feet below, technically now this board is bolted to the angle iron, which is all the way down into the footer. So overkill, okay, we'll call it that. But like when I put this nut on top of here with a metal plate and pull this down tight, this now 2 feet in the ground with concrete. So I'm not overkilling, I'm just making it strong. Okay, well, I'm going to start on that wall over there now, and you've seen everything that I've done on this wall. I'm going to do the same thing over there, so I don't need to show it, but what I will show is when I get them all up, you know, the windows, the seal plate, and just, you know, strengthen that up. Probably, I mean, I've got these straps going across right here. That's going to basically keep it from going that way. So I might put a, you know, a board brace from the top here down to the floor over there, kind of in the middle. The wind it can't grab anything really. I mean, and it's blowing pretty dang good today, and it's barely jiggling, and it might be because the strap's hitting it. But anyway, that's it for the day. Got that sun. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. This is Danny Designs, and my designs are changing, but it's okay. All right, thanks for watching.